So this today class is again a continuation of our AOL concept stuff. So we have discussed the value set lookup, right? And last time we have seen the flexi field also, right?
Yeah.
So today what we do is like from OAF, we'll see how do you invoke a concurrent program, how do
Okay.
we invoke a workflow, and also we'll check it out how can we invoke an XML publisher report.
Okay.
Okay. So this concurrent program and a workflow, it is quite, like the same set of code which you use in a PL SQL will be used here. Of course, the API name will be different, but it is almost similar to the same concept. So when you have a concurrent program, we have an API called fnd request.submit request. And if you see the workflow, you'll have a WF engine, right? The same way in the OAF
Yeah.
also, we have a different Java API for the same purpose.
Okay.
Okay. So we just have a code snippet. We just need to understand like which API and how do you pass a parameter and what are the important, uh, what are the important things which requires to invoke the function from the Java. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see. We'll just create a page and just a button, and on button action, we'll just call the concurrent program.
Okay.
Okay. But if at all, let us say if you want to pass a parameter from the Vivo or it's same process again. Like I just get the value and pass to the program.
Okay.
So let's create a page. And look, let's set the default properties, main region, aim definition. Set the controller. And create a button, new item.
Okay.
So I just, okay. So I'll try with the button. Okay. So there is one
Okay.
more item style that's called button. Okay. This is almost similar to our submit button, but in this one, by default, it will not raise any action. We have to have a explicit action
Fine.
event, fire action. Okay. And when you do personalization, let us say if you want to create a button using personalization, you can see only button. You could not see the submit button. Okay.
Okay.
So now I'll use fire action and then just mention the event name, invoke event. Okay. So now we have to write the logic on this one, invoke event. Yeah. So let's write the logic. Get the event. So on button event, we have to call the Java program. So for this one, so I'll be writing a new method. Okay.
Okay.
So within the CO, see, the OA, the CO which we are using is nothing but a Java file, right? A Java file
Mm-hmm.
can have any number of methods. There's no restriction on that. Now the
Okay.
same way, what we do is, it all depends upon the developer interest. They can write the logic within the same method or they can write a new method, isn't it? Now I just added one more method now.
Okay.
Okay, I just added one more method and the method name is invoke CP request. It's only for readability purpose. There is no other purpose. Just readability
Okay.
purpose, we just add up the methods. So here, yeah, in this one, the issue is, okay, Okay, so in the vector arg it's still having an issue. It is java.util.vector. So this is collection. We are using a collection one, so we have to remove this. So let's see that again. Let's try to import again. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Now, yeah. So what we need to do is when a user clicks on the button, we have to call this particular method. And generally, remember whenever you're writing any method in the CO, always try to pass page context and web bean. It is not
Oh,
mandatory, but the reason
oh,
is most of the times you'll require that. So better you just pass it so that like in future if you try to customize it, it does not need to it does not need to change the signature.
okay. Okay.
So now int request ID is equal to submit CP request, page context, and web bean.
Okay.
Okay. So now here what are we doing is we are getting the AM context, like we are just getting the AM name, AM instance. This is another way of getting the AM name, okay? OA application module. Either way will work. You can mention CNSI or OA application module
Okay. Okay.
and get the transaction, get the connection. Now this is a major API, concurrent request. The API name itself is, the class name is concurrent request, and this is a part of this one. Oracle Labs FND CP request, concurrent program dot request, and in that we have this particular class. Okay.
Okay.
Now in this one, we are calling the constructor with the connection information, line number
Okay.
69. And to invoke a concurrent program in the Oracle ERP, we require application short name as well as concurrent program short name, and if at all, if it is having any parameters. There are three things which we require, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now in this one, like my report name is this one, the concurrent program short name is this one. So let us see in my instance. Okay, so this is a report and this is a report. In this one, any parameter? Yeah, we have one parameter called invoice ID.
Okay.
Okay, this is a report and belongs to FND AOL module.
Okay.
Okay, so now here mention the parameter value. So this parameter value as of now I hard coded, but what we can do is we can either get the information from the Vivo or the user input. Let us say user want to enter the data and then execute it. Okay, that way also we can do it. Now
Okay.
finally, within this concurrent request API, we have a method called submit request.
Okay.
In the submit request, we have to pass all these parameters: application short name, concurrent program, and this description is not mandatory. And there are
Okay.
few other parameters. And the final one is CPRs. This one, the vector element, concurrent program arguments,
Okay. Okay.
and it is provided.
Okay.
It is vector is another kind of array, I can say. Even I don't have much clarity on that. It's one other kind of array. But why it is
Oh,
vector is the reason could be, see, there are some set of APIs which Oracle would have been done maybe many years back, right? Sometimes it doesn't disturb them if they're working fine.
okay.
That could be the reason, right?
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, so let's run it. Okay, so let's click on this one, right? The request ID is 3885. Of course, it is displaying as error because we have not mentioned the type, right? So,
Okay. Okay.
so now let's see. And can you see invoking from OF? We just added this description,
Okay.
right? This is a report. So this is how we can invoke a report from the OF concurrent program. I mean, it can be any concurrent program, any type of concurrent program.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we'll see how to invoke a workflow. Okay.
Okay.
So in the workflow, we have an API called OA navigation. Using OA navigation API, we'll be invoking a workflow. So to invoke a workflow, what do we require? We require item type, we require process name, and also we require parameters. Okay, so these are three things which we require to invoke a workflow from the OF. Either way, even if you want to invoke from PL SQL also, you require these three parameters. And apart from that, another one is we require a sequence, like item sequence we call it as, or item key we generally call it as.
Okay.
These are four things. So yeah.
Okay.
So I'll just create one more page and we'll do it. And one more thing, like when you have some code, okay, let us say when you you have some Java code which is written in the CO. So how do you know that? Let us say like somebody says, why don't you write this same code in the AMI MPL? But how can you say that whether this can be written in the AMI MPL or not? So if at all, one
Okay.
basic thing you have to remember is, if at all the code which you have written is having page context or web bean, then it should be written only in it can work only in the CO. If it is not having any of the page context or web bean usage, yes, we can write in the AMI MPL or maybe the respective places.
Okay.
So invoke workflow. So I'll just have a button. So invoke workflow now. So on this button event, we have to call the API. So in this one, the API name is OA navigation. So let's get that.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
So in this, what are we doing is the item type, I mean to say item name, or we generally call it as internal name, right? We require internal names first of all. So this is my workflow internal item name, internal item process name. So internal item process name, and then I just have one of the sequence, okay? And then I have an API called OA navigation. So in the OA navigation, I am passing, if you observe here, this is create process. In the OA navigation, this is my constructor. So in that, I have a API name called create process. In the create process, we have to pass the page context, item type, the process name, as well as item key, right? Now, if you observe here, this create process is having page context. If you are having page context as an input, so it is better you call it from this one, right?
Okay.
And then what you do is, so set the values. Like I have a parameter called xx performer. In the performer, I'm setting the username as operation. So basically, it will send the notification to the user operations.
Okay.
Okay, and I have one more parameter called this one person ID, and I'm setting the value for this one also, set attribute number. So in the, if you observe from the PL SQL standpoint, so you have a method called set item attribute text there also. You also have a method called set item attribute number, the same thing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So you have a method called start process. Here also we have the same thing, page context, item type, process, and item key.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. And this notification will display an OAF region inside a workflow. Okay.
Okay.
So let's click on this button. Before that, let me refresh the notification history. Yeah, click on a button. Okay, so refresh. Yeah, can you see 7th March?
Yeah.
Click on this
Okay.
particular link. Okay, so this is a notification. In this notification, we just have two regions. So there's a shared
Mm.
region, and these are two OAF regions. Okay, these are two OAF
Oh,
regions. So
okay.
so we are
Got it.
passing the person ID as 25, right? So see here, person ID as 5. What did it display? It should be 25. Okay, I'll check that. Maybe some issue, but we can pass the parameter also. But still, we can validate. What we can do is we can just see the workflow administrator status monitor. From there, we can validate what parameters this particular workflow got received, right?
Oh, okay.
So, but this is how we can call a workflow from the OAF.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So coming to other one. So now here, like just now we discussed like how do we invoke a concurrent program, but what is the other specialty in invoking an XML publisher report? So the specialty here is, so in the earlier case, while invoking a concurrent program, like this was generating a concurrent program, and it will generate a request ID, and if you want to see the output, then you have to go to the SRS window only, right? You have to go to this
Mm-hmm.
particular form, then only you can see it. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
okay, so for this one, this XML publisher report from the OA, what we have is we have a special functionality. So, but generally, what does an XML report requires? So, if you observe the XML report concept in this one, basically it requires a data model and a layout, and you have an appropriate output format. So, this same concept applies to any reporting technology and from any vendor, not only from Oracle. If you consider any vendor, the same particular concept will apply. You always have a data model, you'll have an appropriate layout, and you require the output in a particular format. Now assume that like from the XML publisher point of view, we can have the data model either in the RDF, we can have either the data model in the PL SQL, we can have data model in the data template approach, and finally, you can also have the data model in the OAF Vivo object. This is what we want to discuss. Okay,
Oh,
and the layout, and like we have different layouts, like we have RTF, we have FO, we have eText, right? Lot number of formats we have. So now,
okay.
and the output, of course, it supports HTML, Excel, PDF, RTF. So these are the general formats which XML Publisher Report supports. Now, in this one, what we want to do is using our OAF Vivo object, we will generate the XML content, and this XML data we will pump into the template directly. There is no involvement of concurrent program here. We will be calling the template directly.
Okay. Okay.
So that is the only concept here. There is a different concept which we use from the OAF.
Okay.
So that like what is the advantage of this one is user can see the output on the fly. He does not need to go to the SRS window. There is no concurrent program concept involved here. You will be calling the template directly. We just require a data definition and template registered, and then call the template directly. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And the major API, the API name which we use for this particular purpose is there's an API called Template Helper API, and this particular one, see by default, if you observe like most of the times when you're trying to mention any of the class name, automatically it is importing our required Java package, right? Because those libraries are available in JDeveloper in our JDeveloper. That is the reason it is invoking those particular import stuff. But this particular API, this is a class name. This class is not available in our JDeveloper. This is available in our Java Top, Oracle Apps, XDevo. So what we have to do is we have to copy this particular XDO folder from the local server to the local machine.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll just see step by step. So now first thing what we do is, for any developer, like if at all they want, if at all if they want to design XML report, they require XML content. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
without having XML content, they cannot design the XML publisher report. Of course, there is a
Okay.
possibility, but there's a preferable to have your XML content ready. Okay. So first of all, what we do is we'll design a page. We'll understand how do we generate XML, and we'll see how do we create a template and call from the OAF.
Okay.
So let's go to the coding. We can use any of the Vivo. Either we can use our EMP Vivos which are already there, or maybe we can use the EMP Vivo, right? The EMP Evo
Yeah.
Vivo, or we can use it. I hope it doesn't have
Yeah.
any parameter. Yeah. So we'll use this EMP Evo Vivo. Now I'll create a page, invoke new page, invoke XML report page. Set the default parameters. Okay. So the first thing is, assume that first our requirement is template is not yet ready for us. We have to generate the XML data using OAF concept. Okay. So what we do is, first of all, in the main region, we'll have header region, and the header region will have two buttons. Okay. One is for generating XML, another is for calling the template.
Okay.
New item. Okay. So yeah. So take this button. So here we'll just write the logic. Okay. So now what we require is we need to call a method in the AM which will generate the XML content. So because this is based on a Vivo, right? So nothing but a business logic is required. So better write in the AM, but still we can write in the CVO also.
Okay.
Okay. So in this one, if you observe, there is a method called vivo.writeXML is there.
Okay.
And just see the output of this one. So, okay, 1 minute. This very complex coding, so I need to copy. Okay. So in this one, if you observe,
No.
vivo.writeXML, and in this one we have to pass this particular parameter. In this one we are selecting all the rows. So basically, like, this vivo.writeXML is a method which is there in our Vivo object, which will generate the XML content.
Okay.
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 Okay, so we'll try to print this particular information in the output as of now,
Okay.
because this has to be used by template helper API, but time being what we require XML content so that we can design our template. So we'll just call this method, and so yeah, let's call it. Okay, so before that, clear the log, click on this button, and nothing, right? We could not get any data, just simply displaying some parser kind of thing.
Okay.
Did we execute the Vivo?
Yeah,
Vivo.
it's good. Great.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I forgot the code. Let me get another one. Okay.
Okay.
So here. Okay. The thing is, we just require this logic. Okay. I'll try
Okay.
to use this one. Yeah. Okay. So what are we doing is like the same thing. Only thing is to print the data from the XML, this node. So we are calling the method view.write XML, and after that we are calling the method called print output dot print, and which is printing the data in the output stream.
Okay.
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 And then we have to print the output stream also, right? So here
Yeah. Okay.
SOP, and then output stream dot to stream. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
This is the logic. So, and this logic is only for like initial purpose. It's not exact. It's not the thing which which you'll be calling actually once you implement the report.
Okay. Okay.
So, and one best thing is like we have to generate the XML. I mean, try to design the template based on the XML data what you get from the web. Because let us say, let us assume that like a developer has already designed a template and you want to use that template. That may not work in your case. The reason is the way it generates XML tags can be different from the way it generates the XML tags from your RDF report. Okay, the existing template may not
Okay.
work. That is the reason. So it is better you have to check that. So generate the
Okay. Okay.
data. Got it?
Okay.
So copy this content now. Okay. So this is well-formed XML data, so we does not need to will not have any issue. But this generates the time here. Just remove this. Now save this particular content. EMP data XML. Okay.
Okay.
Now we'll design a template.
Okay.
And RTF format. Okay. And now here enable the plugin. By default the plugin may not be enabled sometimes based on the MS Word version. So just enable this plugin.
Okay.
enable all the macros also. Yeah. Now click on add-ins, data, load XML data. So we have this our EMP data. Yeah, data loaded successfully. Now click on insert table or a wizard. So, and if you observe, it automatically identifies the group information, and this is where the difference is. The group name is your Vivo name, and the other one, the row name is row MPL, right?
Okay.
So, but if you generate the
Yeah.
same thing from, if let us say you have the same query, and if you try to generate the XML from the RDF report, you will not have this particular tag. You will have some other tags there. You will not have this
Oh,
row name. You'll have a L underscore or G underscore kind of group name there. That's the difference.
oh, okay. Okay.
Next. Okay. So click on preview. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
So now next step is register this information in our instance. So go to XML publisher, XML publisher administrator, home, data definition, create data definition. And now what is our report name? So this is our report name.
Okay.
And here generally, like, whenever you are trying to design a data definition, and if it is based on an RDF report, this particular concurrent program shortcode should match with your RDF report. But in our case, this XML publisher report, it is independent of the concurrent program, so that you can have any name here. It doesn't matter whether it is matching with a concurrent program shortcode or not. Okay.
Okay.
And now, so I just mentioned this one, apply. Now click on template, create template. So this is my data definition, and here you can mention. Okay, so here I'll mention my template as underscore TMPL.
Okay.
Default output type, it is, I'll just set it as HTML. Click on browse. Now upload the template. English language. Okay, now click on apply.
Okay.
So we just registered our template. Now let us see how do we invoke from the OAF. So first basic thing is, to invoke this particular XML report, we require template helper API. That particular class will be available in the server, so we have to get that. So okay, so Java classes. This is our Java top. So in the Java top, navigate to Oracle apps, and you will see a folder called xdevo. Okay, and the same way, left side in your local machine, see Jado home, Jado Vamshi. Go to my classes, Oracle
Okay.
apps, and here you have, can you see the folder xdevo? So here,
Okay.
see, in the my classes, by default you may not have Oracle folder, but you have to create a folder Oracle apps and
Okay.
then copy the xdevo folder. The reason is, you cannot it is not preferable to copy the total Oracle folder from your server to local machine, because that will be in a GB size. Better don't copy that way. Navigate to the
Okay.
appropriate particular package structure and maintain the same package structure in the local machine also.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So see, how would we know that what packages are present and what packages are not present?
Yeah. So see, like whatever we are importing, like you will have a library files, like using that we can find out. But I don't think we have a repository for that. Or maybe the JDAO class documentation, what are the classes which are
Oh,
mentioned in that one? Yes, you will have that. That's what I can say.
okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now,
Yeah. Okay.
So once you get that, so the next thing is we have to call our template helper API. So here I'll call my Java program. So in this one, yeah, so this is logic. Okay, so when a user clicks on generate report button, we have to call this particular Java logic. Okay.
Okay.
So this particular coding which is there. This is based on Java servlet. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is a major API. This is one of the important API where we have to mention our XML publisher application short. I mean to say the template application short name and the template short code. So in this one, our template short code was this one.
Okay.
So I'll copy this. Okay.
Okay.
And here there's one place where we'll be calling our AM to generate the data. So here what we have to do is we have to write a method in our AM which will generate the XML node. Last time, if you remember, like we could not generate the method, we could not generate a different value from the AM, right? So what you do is
Yeah.
you can just you can mention the invoke method. In the invoke method, like you mention your appropriate method name, just have the written value. That's it. It does not need to bother here. I'll tell you. See, go to AM first of all. Better you can differentiate like this. If the class name and object name are same, sometimes we may
Oh,
have a confusion.
okay.
So just mention OBJ. That will, better always you can differentiate very easily. So now
Okay.
what we are doing is we have written a method in the AM which is generating a data of type XML node. So now this method we
Oh,
have to call from our CO. So here, observe here. This is the method which I'm invoking it, and here just mention XM this one. That's it. AM.invoke method. This is one way of calling it, and other way is you can mention our CNSI, and then we can know how to handle the output type, right?
okay.
Okay. So now initially we'll generate the data in HTML format. So I'll just say employee data. So I'll tell you the coding, but first of all, let me show you the output, then we can discuss the coding also.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So click on the button. Let's see how it works. Right? Can you see the file dialog?
Yeah.
Click on open.
Okay.
Of course, we have some issue. So
Okay.
let me correct this one. Maybe somewhere I mentioned the output type as PDF. Yeah. So this should be HTML.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's try again.
Okay.
Right? Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll show you again. Let's try PDF this time. So there's like, we does not need to change the code. Only thing is, so here if you observe, we have a file name type as HTML. I'll just change it to PDF. And the response
Okay.
type as application/HTML. I'll just change it to PDF. And there is another place in the template helper API. We have this particular variable called template helper dot output type. So I just change
Okay.
it to, you can just see list of types. It supports these number of types. So I'll change
Okay.
it to PDF. That's it. Now here if you observe, it is calling out template directly. So there is no involvement of concurrent program. And user can see the
Okay.
output directly on the fly in the page. He does not need to go to any SRS window. That's other
And
advantage.
there, there is no reference to the data definition also, right, Steve? We only give the name of the.
Yes, there's no reference to data definition. Yeah, within our template helper, yeah, just template or template code is enough,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Okay, PDF.
Okay.
So now here, if you observe the coding part, so see, this is totally Java servlet coding, and it is complex, but let me tell you. So the logic how it is working is, first of all, using Vivo, we are getting XML data, right? And the
Mhm.
template helper API, if you observe, it requires the data in a stream fashion. Stream fashion. We generally call it as Java stream or something. If you observe this particular logic here, so
Okay.
let me tell you. Now in this one, template helper API, we are calling a method called process template. And then this is normal. The other parameters, so you can ignore them. But here the major thing is input stream, the file type, and the output stream. This PDF file, the way it's a variable name, but it's nothing but your output stream. So how do you get the input stream? This template helper API requires the data in a stream format, okay? And but in our OAF we have our Vivo data in a XML format. This XML data, what we have to do is we have to generate the data to output stream and convert that output stream to input stream. That input stream passed to template helper API. So now what we do is you have XML data, generate this to input output stream first of all, and then using input stream read the data from the output stream.
Okay.
And this input stream data will be passing to our template helper API.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and you can also have, can you see here? Yeah, so servlet output stream, okay, and then
Okay.
this you can ignore as of now. Content type, this is for the purpose of setting the output type to your XML report. Here, byte array output stream, okay. Now, yeah, so here, can you see byte array input stream, output
Yeah.
stream to auto bytes, and here, how are you getting the data to output stream? So for this output stream, so where is that? Yeah, yes, this is the one. The XML node data which you're getting from your OAF, right? The A method, I mean. This is XML node
Yeah.
object which you are getting from the A method. We are printing this particular information to output stream. We are printing
Oh.
the XML content to the output stream. And now byte array input stream, what we are doing, we are reading the data from the output stream. For the input stream, we are reading the data from the output stream. Output stream to byte
Okay.
array, new byte array input stream. So
Oh.
this particular input stream object we are passing to our template helper API. And this PDF
Oh.
file, this is nothing but the name, the variable name is like that, but this PDF file is not exactly a file. It is just your object name, okay? And the object type is of byte array output stream. Now the processed output is available in this output stream, and this output
Really?
stream we are flushing as an output. Can you see PDF file dot flush? So we are flushing this
Oh.
output as a file so that it will generate a dialog, and the user can see the file dialog.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so this is generally a Java servlet coding. Okay.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this one, I'll stop here anyway. But in this one, like now we have in the XML publisher report itself, there are two types. One is using a file dialog concept, and other one is inline report. We call it as. So this inline report we'll discuss in the next class. So what is the
Oh.
concept of inline report is? The inline report will generate the report within the page itself. You just click on a button,
Oh.
you can just see the data within the page, and you can download it, or you can try to rerun with a different format also. Now in this particular the report which we have discussed so far, in that the problem is, let us say if you want to have a different format, Let us say I want to have an HTML or I want to have an Excel. So we have to write the coding for that. Of course, it
Okay.
doesn't need to do much complex coding, but you have to take the input format and user has to run it again, right? But in the inline
Yeah.
report, you have an option there. What is output type you want to have it? Just click on that. That's it. It will generate the data within the page itself.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So we'll see that coding in the next class.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay. Yeah. Sure, Sri.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Sri.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Bye.